Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me live. For everyone who will be joining me on the replay, welcome as well. My name is Isabel Martins from healthyandnaturallife.com, and I work with all things consciousness, energy clearing, animal communication, intuition, sharing my insights, and what I learned on all subjects consciousness related. And on this session, this video, I've decided to cover a question that I've received on a different number of phrasings, but pretty much the same energy of the same question. And that question is, how can I get rid of all of my energy blocks in the fastest way possible for freaking ever? I'm sorry, I'm phrasing it, I'm exaggerating, of course. No one actually asked me in these terms, but the energy of the questions that I've been receiving is an energy that comes from a feeling of overwhelm, probably of frustration, of feeling tired, of feeling that it's just too much and things just seem to keep on popping up and it never stops. So the question in one format or another is, how can I get rid of all of my energy blocks as fast as possible? And I will actually give you an answer to this, because after myself releasing what I had on this question, resistance on the question, it actually came up as an answer to me. And hi, Spanish media, thank you for joining me live as well. Okay, so I was saying, I actually released my own resistance to the question, and I did get an answer, and it's a fairly simple one if we do it. Of course, it's not necessarily easy, but it is really simple. But first, I want to address the energy of the question itself. And the energy comes from that place of overwhelm and of needing to get rid of something, pushing against it. And I'm pretty sure at this point all of us have heard at least the saying that what we resist persists. And that's something that we need to address if we actually want to get to the side of experience where we are as clear, as free, as in our flow, happy, joyful, relaxed as possible. We cannot be in the energy of being against or pushing against something. And let's just talk a little bit about why you resist persists. When you have something on your mind that's neutral, think of, I don't know, a table, think of a curtain that you have absolutely no emotional charge against or for, or attachment or aversion. It just becomes an object that you don't necessarily react to around you, so you don't really pay it much attention. But when you have something in your energy field, in your mind, that you're either pushing against, like for instance the energy blocks, I want to get rid of this, I don't want to feel this way again, I don't want this to keep on going. This is what you're doing. You are feeding energy into it, and you are keeping it always in your experience, because what you're creating is a very big energy charge around a subject. It may be something that you are pushing against, like this, the energy blocks, or it might be something that you're holding on to, like for instance the needing approval from other people. We are creating strong energetic charges on something. And the way that our mind works, you probably heard as well of the reticular activating system, or the law of attraction, if you want to put it in the esoteric terms. We have something in our nervous system that's a function, the reticular activating system, that whatever we pay attention to with a heightened charge, it almost becomes like an alert, something to pay attention to, either because it might be dangerous and we need to be on constant alert to scan for it everywhere, and that's why what we resist persists, or because it's something that's very important to us, something that we really like, that we really want. And again, we create a filter and we scan everywhere to find it. And that's what we're doing every time that we either are attached to something, we really love it, really want it, we have a lot of emotional energy, intense energy associated with that subject, concept, thing, whatever it is. but the same mechanism works if we are pushing against it, because we are still feeding a lot of energy towards something, and our mind creates that filter like, okay, this is important, I have to pay attention to it. So it is constantly scanning the environment to see where that thing is. And that constant attention being directed toward these subjects just make it so that our energy is flowing, always trying to make our filters be right. So there is I think it's called a confirmation bias that our minds work with, that pretty much our beliefs are what filter our reality, and they are what we see, even if there's contradictory evidence to it, because we are always trying to confirm our beliefs, our expectations, what we are looking for. So whatever we have in these filters will necessarily become our reality. So actually, to get to the end result that we want from this question, which is to be as clear, as free as possible from energy blocks, just being complete flow, free flow, unrestricted, we need to start by stopping the push against energy blocks. So let's get to the second part of this then. How can we actually release all energy blocks? It's a surprisingly simple answer, and it is to, as much as possible, be dogged in our desire to release tension. Release tension, release tension, release tension, release tension. If I had to say anything, just as short as a suggestion could be, it would be this: release tension. Every energy clearing method, anything that you find out there that's energy clearing, that's shamanic in nature, Buddhism, all the traditions, everything that works to help us clear our energy, it's all just for us to release the tension that we are holding in our bodies. Because every thought that we have creates a certain amount of tension in our body. Our ego structure is held by tension in our body. If you want, you can check the mind chatter video that I did a few weeks ago. I'll link it in the cards as well. We hold our ego structure in our body. We hold attachments. We hold aversions. We hold limiting thoughts. We hold everything in our physical structure. We have tension that's correlated to those things. Energy blocks, by their very definition, are tension that are keeping the energy from freely flowing through us, keeping us from fully experiencing, fully digesting our experiences. So for us to actually get to that side of no energy blocks whatsoever, we just have to fully and completely and thoroughly release tension. Of course, this is easier said than done, because we hold on to things, but just knowing this makes things a lot easier. There's not a million things that you have to do. Just have to do one: scan yourself as frequently as much as possible. Wherever you find tension, release it. Find tension, release it. Find tension, release it. And again, not as easy as I might be making it sound, but the more that we start releasing tension, the more that we can get deeper into it until we get to the core of what it is, the pattern, the limitation, the attachment, the aversion, even the karmic stuff that's causing the tension. We get deeper into it, and when we get really to the core and just release it, it's completely gone, and a level of peace and wholeness and integration and freedom in our lives that we might not have had for several lifetimes even. So, and by the way, if you were able, and if you are, really, I would love that, if you were able to completely right now release all tension from all the tissues in your body, you would spring right into enlightenment. That's just it. Release all the tension, that there would be no filter in between your inner self and inner experience and the so-called outer world. everything that would reach you would enter you fully, be experienced fully, and flow through you to just be part of your consciousness, expanding and experiencing life. And the other way around as well. Everything that will come through inspiration would flow through you and be immediately created, manifested in your outer reality. This would be the enlightenment state. This would be us with absolutely no added tension from attachments, from aversions, from limiting beliefs, from past experiences that we're holding on to, from anything. So there you have it. That is the fastest, the simplest way that I can just give to you. And now it's a matter of, okay, so how exactly do we do it? My suggestion would be to first, if you find yourself in that mode of trying to push against, I don't want to feel like this, I want to get rid of this, first understand that you are adding tension to your body, and you are adding even more tension to the things that you are pushing against. So if necessary, talk yourself through it, forgive yourself for feeling the way that you're feeling, because somehow in our society we learn that feeling negative means that we're doing something wrong, there's something wrong with us, we shouldn't be feeling this, we're spiritual, we have all this knowledge, what the hell is happening, I'm doing something wrong. So we end up just pounding against ourselves, adding more resistance on top of everything. If you want, scan your body, notice where you feel that tension of beating yourself up, release it. If necessary, think in your mind that you forgive yourself. And forgiveness is just really another, it's an excuse or a method, let's just call it that, for us to release tension. Oh, something happened there. Hopefully it's still working. Okay. If not, I will upload the recorded version. Okay, so as I was saying, forgiveness is just a concept, a mental concept that allows us to release the tension. And we can use whatever permission slips, like Bentinho Massaro calls them, that we need to release the tension. But bottom line is just that. Scan your body. Notice where you feel tension. As best you can, start releasing it, start relaxing. You can use any tool that you have. On my videos, I've talked a lot about breathing through the spot where you feel the tension. Breathe in through it, breathe out through it, because that helps start to unpack. The condensation of energy starts becoming more spacious, and it can start moving. You can as well, if necessary, if you feel that it's very stuck, the energy very condensed, you can massage the place where you feel the tension as well, because that will help. Physical touch, the physical massage will help as well relax the area, and the energy can flow more freely. Another thing that you can do, and this is more for inner tension, and I'll link a video as well on the description box for this, is that we have a lot of inner tension that we don't have access to. So in tissues like organ tissues, we have a lot of tension built in there as well. And this one, it's hard for us to actually experience and release physically, because we don't have voluntary control over those muscles. What we can use is visualization, like for instance, a sun. You can imagine that we have a sun, and that we have ice in those areas, and that the sun is melting the ice. The ice, in this case, is our frozen energy. And this is a technique that Brown Landon explains just beautifully in an audiobook that we have here available on YouTube, and I'll link that in the description as well. That will help with the inner tension that we don't really have access to consciously. We can access it through the subconscious mind and through visualization, giving the suggestion to start melting, releasing that energy that was frozen there. It can start moving again. So that's for inner tension. But before actually getting to inner tension, there's a lot of outer tension that we are constantly, always building into ourselves. So anytime that we find that we're contracting when we're talking with someone, and something closes in us, release the tension. When we're doing something and we're feeling our shoulders come up or our stomach clench, release the tension. When we're going about our days and something pops in our mind and we feel a contraction in our body, release the tension. As many reminders of this as you can scatter around you throughout the day to help you. Okay, scan your body almost like this. Scan your body, release tension. Scan your body, release tension. Put reminders, as many as you can, all around you, so that you can start paying attention throughout the day. And this has more benefits than just the releasing tension. It will help you be a lot more present, a lot more mindful, a lot more embodied as well, with all the benefits that come from this. And then of course it will help you release tension. And this tension might be from limiting beliefs that you have around health, around money, around relationships, around anything. And the more that you release the tension, the more that you'll be releasing these limiting beliefs. And it's not just physically that you'll feel better, you'll start seeing your entire life become healthier, more vibrant, more free, more joyful, more a true reflection of your soul, of your heart and soul, of what you came to express here. And I am going to do something, and this came up probably just for me, but I'm going to say it anyway because it might be interesting for you. I'm going to adapt something that I learned from Bentinho Massari. He calls it the 2-hour challenge. And it is like this. His original thing, exercise, challenge, experiment, was to, for a period of 2 hours, every minute, you have a sort of an alarm go off. And every minute you focus on something positive, something, a state of being that you want to embody more for about 10 seconds. This is his exercise, his experiment. What came up for me as I was pondering actually this video and this topic was I'm going to do the same thing, and I already started in 2-hour blocks. I'm doing one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So for me, it will be 4 hours. Every minute I have a little Tabata app on my phone that every minute it gives me a ding, ding, ding. And what I do when it dings is I scan my body and I notice, where do I feel tension? Okay, so how can I relax more in this area? How can I release this tension? I notice where I have it and I start releasing it. Of course, from my experience, even in this couple of days that I've been doing this, a lot of the dings just go unnoticed. So it almost becomes like background noise. But it is very interesting because it's bringing to my awareness all the tension that I wasn't conscious of before, the patterns of holding, what happens while I'm eating, what happens after I'm eating. And I can see that even in just 2 days, my digestion is a lot more smooth. It flows, yeah, everything is better. So this is what I will be doing. I will be playing with this. I've set the experiment for myself because I think that the more we can do this, and even if it is just for a short period of time, we will see the difference. I will be doing this for this coming week, and I'm really curious to see what the results will be at the end of this, because again, like I shared before, we have the fact that we are becoming more present, because it's always, at least for me, the beep of the Tabata timer, it's always sending me back into present moment, embodied, because I am scanning my body and releasing tension, and releasing tension. And just a heads up as well, if you decide to do something like that, old things might start coming to the surface. So you might think, crap, I'm relaxing, but it seems that all freaking hell is breaking loose. Yeah, it's not because you're doing anything wrong, it's because you are relaxing, the pushing against things, and they are finding finally that they have an escape valve. They can finally start to move out through you instead of being built into your tissues and still running everything in your health, in your life, because it's still, that energy is still there and it's still creating that alert in your mind. Now, with stopping the pushing against and actually allowing yourself to feel the tension and release the tension, it's starting to come to the surface to be cleansed, to flow through you, to be integrated, to just be part of your life force again, to support you instead of being locked and congealed like it was before. So that might happen. And yeah, I think that's what I wanted to share. And this time is that this question actually has an answer. And the answer, in the simplest of terms, everything else is just a show that we put around it. And that's something that I learned from shamanism, is that we will put on the show for whatever will help the person accept the fact that they can release the tension, they can release the attachment, they can release the aversion. So everything that we use in terms of techniques and all that will just be a way to help us release the tension. Let's just go straight to the core. Scan your body. Don't go into thinking mode. Just stay with the sensations. Just focus on the physical, because when we go into our heads, and this is important, when we go into story into, oh, I'm feeling this way, or this is because of this is a filter again that we're creating in order to avoid feeling and relating to what we're feeling from a mental perspective. So it's creating a filter, a distance, and it's just another way of avoiding what's happening. So let go of the stories. If you notice, in time you will start noticing even the story has a slight feeling of tension in your body or in your head. So release the tension, release the thought, come back to the feeling. Notice where it is as best you can, see how you can release the tension, and keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And if you are intense and really intent about it, you will see a very big shift in your life, all areas of your life, in a really short time. And if you can just really let go of it all, enlightenment for you. And I would love to hear your experience. So I love to hear your comments on this one as well. Hope this was useful. And like, share, comment, whatever you feel inspired. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you on the next video.